always spoke to me as a professional, because when we really got to know each other, it was when Ayanda was a news anchor and Musi was in politics, and we would, share interviews, etc., and, lighthearted moments here and there, but never, ever was there an idea that we would work together. Sure. So when they started One South Africa at the time, and were going on the ground to get a sense of what people wanted, Musi and Nobuntu were integral in all of that. That's when I met Nobuntu. I met Nobuntu because of Musi. Now I want to tell you about the power of women coming together and working. When I met Nobuntu, I almost forgot that there's a Musi Maimani also who's part of Build One South Africa, because she became an ally in the work that we do. Nobuntu and I would meet over the Women's Commission. She asked me, come and MC this event. I MC the event. She calls me for the second one. Please come and MC the second event. We're working now. We're making connections. There's a woman who's running a shelter, Gupi Gupi. There's one with a feeding scheme. There's one who's in business. There's one. We're now cross-pollinating in terms of ideas. Absolutely important for us if we're going to move the dial and start to see a change in society. Thereafter, Nobuntu sits down with me and she says, I think you should be involved in Build One South Africa. I really think there's space for you here. And I say to her, Papa, but I'm in the same
now
view.
That
I'm
you
just
insist,
like, girl, I didn't want to be on something. Oh, please make the circle bigger. I want to be part of this. But there is so much synergy. And for me, one of the things that influenced me more than just the work that was happening and the fruit thereof, you could see it, was the character, the conduct of the leaders. When you have women who are in such positions, who are able to have agency and who are able to have control over their life in this way, they're able to control their voices. My voice, and I believe the voice of Nobuntu and many other women in Build One South Africa, is not determined by the outcome of these elections. And my future is not in the hand of any man who will then say, if you keep quiet on this gender-based violent front, I'll make sure I give you this position, etc. And I think that's the same with all the women at Build One South Africa. We can stand on our own. And whatever happens in the political spectrum, we will not fall apart and disappear into nothingness. And because we have that firm foundation, call it upbringing. I know Nobuntu's mom is incredible. Her dad passed away when she was relatively young. Call it my own background as well, where my mother taught me that there is nothing in Aklula. My father gave me that affirmation and that love. I have the support of my family. I know that come what may, no matter what happens where I'm going, I can have the boldness and the fortitude and the wherewithal to speak the truth. And I can do that because I need dingi to eat in politics. Right? I need doing it to survive. I'm here because there is something within me that is burning for us to serve this country. That's the same with all the women. So when you have women in other political spectrums whose future is determined by a man who's at the helm, whose livelihood is determined by the way Congress will go, or caucus will go, or I don't know what it's called when they sit together, BGM, the outcome of the BGM directly impacts on whether or not my kids can go to school. Or the lifestyle that I have built can only be sustained by kickbacks that I get because I'm in a political position. When your entire personhood or somebodyness, as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. would say, when your somebodyness is determined by a man who's at the helm, who can give out favors, there's no way you're not going to compromise. Because you know what, for me to eat, for me to live, for me to breathe, for my children to go to school, etc., is determined by this man. So mabati valumlomo wako thula mntwanami sidla ngayo le ndoda uzothula. But when you know, go to me, I know the capacity I have and the direction of my destiny is not determined by anybody in this place. And if this doesn't work, God forbid, I still will wake up in the morning and work. If you know that and you need to stand up and say, Lawyer George, you can say it. And you need to stand up and say, no, sorry, that one is politically incorrect. You can say it. And you need to stand up and challenge leadership sometimes wherever, even within your ranks. You'll be able to do that if you know that your somebodyness is not at the hands or in the hands of any other person. And I have seen that the women in Build One South Africa have stood up and that they know that they're not in politics because they're hungry. They're in politics because they believe they can make a difference.
I get feel, Baba. One of the things I like about you guys is we're starting to see Musi, Nobuntu, yourself, potential people that are going to sit on the seats for votes, whereas some of these new political parties, we're not really sure if they were to get seats who would sit there.
And Pen, you spoke about something that's quite important. I think we're in it for the long haul, my guy. We're in it knowing that 2024 is not the be all and end all. There are still very, very, very important elections coming up in 2026. Those are crucial because they deal with bread and butter issues. Parliament, that's my heart.
Sure.
That's my heart. And I'm of the view that you need to get your most qualified people in the country at local government level. That's the coalface of service delivery. That is where we determine whether there'll be water, whether there'll be refuse removal, whether there'll be potholes that are fixed. The quality of life that we enjoy in South Africa is in the hands of those who are at local government level. And we are doing a gross disservice to the country by the kinds of people that we choose to occupy those positions. All of them who are there, dare I say all, maybe the vast majority of them dream of going to province or national because they look at local and they think, but it should be the other way around.
Sure.
It should be the other way around. You should have doctors, lawyers, you should have academics, you should have community leaders, all those kind of people who have capacity, yearning to be on the ground to serve. So I think that's something that's so important. And for Tina's Build One South Africa, we're not short-sighted. Yes, 2024 is important, but it is not the be-all and end-all. Our sights are set firmly on 2026. Not personally, one by one, 2026. And we're hoping that also going past that as well in the next elections, we would have proven our muscle as a political party and our longevity and staying power.